So, der nächste Hint sollte da sein. Ach so. Ah, das macht Sinn. Okay. 7, 9, 2, 6, 4. 8, 9, 2, 6, 4. Wo ist denn die 7? Wo ist die 7? Weil die haben wir, glaube ich, noch nicht gesehen. Okay, wir haben nur 6 gefunden. Aber eine 7? Acht. Sieben, wo bist du? 9, die. Weiß es nicht. Oben muss es denn ja wohl sein. 9, 7, 7, 7. Gar keine Bilder dran, ne? Nein. Sieben. 7. Oh, wir müssen das wirklich 8, 9, 2, 6, 4 machen. Verstehen aber nicht, warum in dem Ding... Das denn anders... Naja. In den Dings das andere steht hier. Das hier. 8, 9, 2, 6, 4. Wo ist die 2? 2 haben wir, war SD, die war oben. 8, 9. Jetzt kommt die 2, die war ganz hinten. Dann unten wieder in den Schrank. In den unnötigen Werkzeugschrank. Und die 4 war dann ja hier, ne? Ja. Aha. The screaming, the crying, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Was? 4? Was ist denn das zweite Wort? For Rampantee, Devon? I have lived, and for one more I shall live on, trapped inside these memories with the devil himself. Mach mal zu hier. Mhm. Ist ja gut, ist ja gut. Documents. Lilith, note 4. I can't move today. I woke up and I can't really explain it, but my right hip just feels extremely stiff. I try to get out of bed, but I can barely turn my body without feeling pain. Update. My parents took me to the hospital just in case it was severe or life-threatening, but the staff seemed to be clueless as to what I actually have. They said I will need to complete further x-rays, possibly even use an MRI, in order to verify their diagnosis. Hopefully I won't have to paint or anything. I also had a really weird dream. I was alone in the house with Marcus, but for some reason he was always afraid of me. Every time I would try to get close to him, he would run away in fear. It was such a weird dream, because in a way it felt like it lasted forever. Foreshadowing of diese Events hier. Aber wenn wir beide tot sind, dann verstehe ich nicht, wer ich bin. Was ich bin. Okay, wo man es hier. Error. Es hat ja irgendwas gescheppert. Frage ist nur was. Oh, ich dachte gerade das Fenster vielleicht. Oh, ein neues Bild. Hübsch. So, was wird kaputt gemacht? Hä? Ah, neu. Oh, mehrere Notes. Documents. Marcus, note 2. My parents took Lilith to the hospital after my sister said she felt immobile around her hip. She said it felt completely stiff, as if all of the muscles surrounding her hip had turned to bone. The other day, Dad threw me down the stairs because Lilith's painting weren't selling as much as they used to. He thought it was an entertaining way to encourage her to paint better. As he phrased it, I dislocated my shoulder on the way down. After repositioning the joint back into the socket, I made a sling with some old rags I found in the closet. It still stings, but it should heal within a few weeks to a couple of months. Das Ding ist, wenn man erstmal Schultern ausgekugelt hatte, ist es immer leichter, die immer wieder auszukugeln. Das ist totaler Scheiß. Hatte ich Gott sei Dank noch nicht. Aber man merkt es bei vielen. So, school isn't too hard. I'm working on this little project with some of my friends. We're trying to create our own braking system for a car, something that can be controlled remotely. I wonder if I can reverse engineer it to do the opposite task and maybe cancel the braking system to remotely. That would be an interesting challenge, as long I don't have to stay home, right? Marcus. Diagnosis. To the Walker family, we had some difficulty in regards to diagnosing your daughter's specific condition, but we have concluded that it is fibrodysplasia ossificans. Ossificans ist immer verknöchern, also zum Beispiel osnaviculare, femoralis. Os ist immer dieser Knochen, dieser Präfix für Knochen und ähnliches. Fibrodysplasia. Also Dys ist immer eine Fehlfunktion. Dysplasie, also und Fibrose, ja. Es geht auf jeden Fall darum, dass sich das fibrotische Gewebe, das Muskelgewebe verknöchert. Progressiver, ja, es schreitet voran. It's a very rare but severe condition where the patient's soft tissue, when repaired, becomes ossified, basically turning into bone. Ja, sag ich doch. This is due to a mutation in the repair mechanism of the body that results in this condition. There are treatment options to slow down the process of the condition, but I admit the future looks fairly grim. In all honesty, this is what will eventually happen. The disease will spread throughout her body until most of her soft tissue, including tendons, ligaments and even muscle, will become ossified. Also Sehnen, Bänder und Muskeln will become ossified. The most we can do is provide medication in order to relieve the pain, but other than that, the condition has always been fatal. Your daughter might be able to make it to the age of 40 if she's lucky. Please let her know what direction you would like to take. Thank you for your patience, Dr. Gammon. Das ist eine arschige Krankheit, ey. Warte, ich komme hier nicht durch. Wo bist du hin? Sich seine Angst stellen, immer das Beste. Naja, nicht das Beste. Das Unangenehmste, aber in vielen Situationen hilfreich. Kommt auf diese... Ja, ist situationsbedingt. Okay. Oh, was soll denn das? Machst einfach zu hier. Kann nichts mehr machen.
According to a recent poll, infidelity is at an all-time high. This may be due to marrying too young, lack of commitment, or even financial instability. Let us examine the story of Joseph and Mary Walker. The two married and bore a daughter, Lilith, who was very talented in many artistic mediums, especially in painting. Joseph and Mary also had a son named Marcus. Joseph worked as a construction worker, while Mary worked as a secretary for a local business.
For a law firm.
Discovering Lilith's talents, her parents encouraged her greatly to continue and perfect her skills. Eventually, a high enough demand for her paintings allowed the Walkers to become financially stable, simply by selling Lilith's art. Both Joseph and Mary quit their jobs, as Lilith's paintings sold anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 apiece, depending on the buyer. Due to this high demand, Joseph and Mary began to live life far above their means, taking advantage of their gifted child in order to satisfy their own greed. It started off with Joseph burning Marcus with cigarettes if Lilith refused to work. Slowly, the abuse became worse and more intense, until one episode landed Marcus in the hospital. Marcus had several bruises along with a dislocated arm. The family was forced to cover up the incident and no charges were filed. This abuse continued for a long time. Marcus grew accustomed to it. It was simply a part of his life, just as much as breathing or sleeping. After Lilith was diagnosed with a rare bone condition, everything changed. She lost her ability to paint, leading the family into a period of financial hardships. Joseph wasn't able to find work due to his alcoholism, but Mary was able to find a job at her old company. Her former employer kept in touch with her throughout the years. Tension began to build within the family. Marcus usually remained passive among family affairs, but the situation gave him much joy. They were suffering, and he knew it. He couldn't have been happier. 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 He couldn't have been happier.
Okay, Monatslohn von 15 bis, von 20 bis 60.000 Dollar ist nicht schlecht, muss man mal sagen. Oh. Mach doch auf. Mach zu. Komm doch rein. Soll ich jetzt vielleicht die Survey weitermachen? Nö, noch nicht. Ja, komm rein. Aha. Sehr schön. Documents. Lilith Note 5. My parents gave me the news, so I had this condition called fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. Basically, it's a condition where my soft tissue, ligaments, tendons, and muscles gradually turn into bone. They said eventually I'll lose mobility in my arms, legs, neck, everywhere until I need a caretaker to basically do everything for me. Right now I feel it in my arms and torso. For now, I just sort of stay in my bed. It hurts to walk around and I can't really exercise or damage my body in any way, or else it'll speed up the process. I mean, I'm only 15. So this is a lot to take in, knowing that I'll slowly become more and more immobile. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? I wished that I could stop painting, or that I wouldn't have to anymore, and this was the answer I received. The best they could do was prescribe medication for the pain. A year from now, there's a good chance that I won't be able to walk, and I'll be in a wheelchair or worse. I just hope my family will be stable without my help. I'll be a pretty big burden. The other day I overheard my parents argue and my mom brought up the idea of getting a divorce. I feel like this is all my fault. Indirekt nur indirekt. Direkt schuld sind natürlich die Eltern, was die Situation direkt angeht so. How about we take a hint? What? Bisschen übertrieben, oder? Meint ihr nicht? Wo ist denn eigentlich die Statue hin hier, das Püppchen-Ding? Ich weiß auch gerade ehrlich gesagt nicht, wo ich hin muss, wo ich hin soll. Soll sich das drehen? Ich glaube nicht. Bestimmt nicht. So tell me, game, what is it you want? What is it you want? Nicht. Also dafür, dass sie so viel Geld gemacht haben, ist das Haus hier eigentlich relativ lame. Aha. So. Documents. Marcus Note 3. I overheard them talking about what Lilith's condition was. Apparently she had a sort of bone disorder. Basically, her body keeps becoming more and more immobilized until she's basically paralyzed. The process can take a while, but it continually gets worse and worse. They seem very worried about it. As far as I know, Lilith won't be able to paint. I wonder what will happen. Mom and Dad were screaming at each other the other day. I've never seen them argue like that. It was quite entertaining seeing them bicker and yell. I had a wide grin across my face as I watched the spectacle. My parents have been trying to find work ever since they heard the news, but only my mom has been able to find a job with her old employer. Dad hasn't had any luck. This is quite an unfortunate situation. I did a bit more research on the condition. It seems like incurable. My parents seem like they're in a state of panic. I've never seen them like this before, frantic, scared, and unstable. I've never been more excited in my life. Marcus. An seiner Stelle, ja. Er wurde ja wirklich nur in jeder Form missbraucht. Das geht gar nicht. Das geht gar nicht. War ich gerade drin? EA. Aha. Documents, Marcus Note 4. My mom showed him the divorce paperwork and he was livid. I've never seen my dad this furious, his bloodshot eyes trembling in fear, because he knew he was powerless against her decision. He kept taking beer bottles and smashing them against the kitchen table. After he heard the news, she said she was tired of having him just drinking all day and not contributing to the family at all. I left a little surprise for him in the car. He found out while he's driving. Well, for now, I'll guess it'll just be Mom, Lilith, and I. She asked me to get a part-time job since we'll need the money to help with Lilith's medical bills. I don't mind working even though I'm still in high school. I'll be pretty busy, but I guess I'll just have to deal with it. It'll be hard, though. I went to the doctor the other day and he examined my shoulder. It turns out I've had a torn rotator cuff for a while now. But I've never been able to get it checked out because of that. I haven't been able to rotate my arm past 90 degrees without feeling this tearing sensation on the back of my shoulder. Thanks, Dad, I guess. In the end, everybody gets what they deserve. Machthungrige Bastarde. Geldhungrige Bastarde. Ich habe mich verdammt nochmal erschrocken gerade. Also wirklich, also richtig. Let's see what we got here. Suicide. Oha. It's been hard the last year. I've been working overtime almost every week at my job ever since the divorce just to cover everything. Lilith, well, she was bedridden and relied on Marcus for just about everything. Marcus was the intending colleague and working at the same time. I went on a business trip for about a week. I didn't get the news until I came home. The house caught on fire. I was told that Lilith died a horrific death, burning alive as the flames consumed her. They said the fire started in her room, most likely by a candle that was tipped over. The neighbors, they said, all they heard was a haunting scream, like an animal that knows its death is approaching. Everything's gone, my kids, my house. Did I deserve this? I was so blinded by greed. I'm a horrible person. I let my son be abused for years just to force my daughter to paint and make myself money. I guess Joseph got what was coming to him, and now it's my turn. I just wish I could watch over them. Tja, die Einsicht kam zu spät, Kollegin. Zu spät. Ach, ich kann nicht mal hoch. Was ist das? Ja. Schlimme Sache. Ich bin mir nicht sicher, wo wir hin sollen. Survey vielleicht? Oh, wir haben neue Messages. Was hatten wir? He had a taunting grin on his face, as if seeing her suffer filled us out with delight. For the first time in a long time, he felt joy. Marcus, the monster. Not his father was the monster, and his mother.
Crashing his car into a tree. Officers have noted that there might have been tampering involved with the braking system of the vehicle. Fortunately, the individual suffered greatly while dying. I know a certain someone that would be happy to know so. Don't worry, I'm stuck as well. This was Joseph, bringing the local news to you.
Guten Abend. Okay, dann lese ich erstmal, ist ja gut. Documents, Lilith, Note 6. March 3rd, 2016.